Now, then let's go to Colossians chapter 3 and verse 22. We'll see this inheritance, Colossians 3. Servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh. So he's talking about the marketplace. Not with eye service as men pleasers. Now we know what that is, which means don't be doing things before people, because what you think is your reward is coming from these people, so you are playing games, but when those folks are not around, you are not the person. But once they're around, all right, you do all that in front of them because you are trying to influence and manipulate their minds to act towards you in a certain way. He said that's not what the labor or a market is all about. So he says this. Look at what he says here. He says, but in singleness of heart, fearing the Lord or worshiping God. So it's an altar of worship. Next verse. It says, and whatsoever you do it heartily unto the Lord and not unto men. Reason is this, next verse. Knowing that of the Lord you shall receive the reward of the inheritance. In other words, it says, when you go out into the marketplace, you should be looking out and looking to God for as the one who will reward you for your contributions in the marketplace where you're working. And God is going to reward you with the eternal inheritance, who is the Spirit. I will say what he means by that. But you are going to be paid by God for rendering service in a certain way. Every Christian must understand this. And once you understand what the reward will be and who is rewarding you, your heart will be in your job. Because you will know that you are going to be rewarded by God. And what God is going to give you is the eternal inheritance. And so you are doing it heartily, not unto men. You may have the worst boss, it doesn't matter. You may be walking among, but you know that it is Christ. Look at who Jacob worked for when the eternal inheritance was manifesting itself. This was somebody who was a deceiver. You haven't met any person like Laban, where you tell somebody to walk and you will give him the daughter, and on the day of the marriage you exchange your daughters. Cover that one. And they are dancing, and you are dancing, and say, take the vows while she's covered. And you take the vows, finish. And commit yourself to her. And then he removes and says, oh boy, one chance. This is the person you married to. And then you look at him and say, what? And then he said, well, I'll give you the other one. Work another 7 years. 14 years. Then he changes your wages 10 times. Resignation letter will have gone from the beginning. I cannot be under this kind of Christ is this, well, Christ. Then you look at it, change it again. I'm sorry, I can't. And you'll have gone. Huh? But they understood who they were working for. And they knew what the reward was going to be. So when you are involved there, you must know who you are working for and what's the reward. That's why in Psalm 123, David said it this way from verses 1 here, all right, to verse 3. Psalm 123, unto thee lift I up my eyes, O thou that dwells in the heavens. Behold, as the eyes of servants look to the hand of their masters, and the eyes of maidens to the hand of her mistress. So our eyes wait upon thee, O Lord, until you have mercy upon us. So he was saying, we are here working, and we are praying to you here. God reward us with mercy. God, we are praying there, let your mercy, all right, visit us in this place. Let us have an encounter with your mercy in this workplace. For it is not of him that runneth or willeth, which means when there is mercy that comes, it will be, it's not of him that walketh or runneth or willeth, but it's of God that showeth mercy. do it the right way, I guarantee you, you will face a test. Last week when I was praying in the morning, God told me, he said, tell people, he said they will face a test. And the test will be, their colleagues will go ahead of them first. And they will be tempted to change the way they are doing things and maybe to even cheat and undercut. But once my mercy shows up on the scene, they will leapfrog every single person, and it will be a quantum leap experience. And that's exactly what God wants to do once we understand, all right, his system.